Disclosure? I hardly knows her. Is that gonna be my thing? Just saying something stupid before I start the video? Alright, well, if you guys like it. What do we think? Do we like that shot? I think we like that shot, especially if I stand over there, maybe like a little closer to the pool. Okay, first things first, let's talk for a second. That last video got way more views than I was expecting. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it had like 1,000 views.
1,400 now, buddy.
Watching that line go up, so motivating, so cool. Thank you. When I say like, hey guys, what's up? Now I'm actually talking to people. That's so cool. There's only one screen in all of Dublin that does 70mm. I saw that they were having Disclosure Day, and I figured, okay, great. I've seen the trailers, it looks pretty good. Let's get out of the way right away. I don't think I liked it very much, but I'm also willing to give it some grace. I'm willing to talk through it, and let's see how I feel at the end of this review. Right now, not a huge fan. Let's talk about Steven Spielberg. Know him more as a name than as a director, if that makes sense. Like, he's one of those guys that is, yes, he's been in the zeitgeist and in the fabric of film throughout my whole life, but again, it's always been kind of like all of his best movies, all the things you know him for, the iconic stuff, is all before my time. So I've seen them all, but it wasn't like part of my development, part of my upbringing. I guess I could shout out like the Tintin movie. That movie was awesome. There's also, Ready Player One was okay. It was fine. The best analogy that I have for this movie is that it feels kind of like, imagine you're at a bar or at a party and like some old guy walks up to you, or it doesn't have to be an old guy, it could be like a friend of a friend, you know, someone that you sort of know but you're not that close to, and they start telling you about a real special, like, deep interest of theirs that you don't care about at all. And so you're nodding and you're polite and you're like, yes, absolutely, that sounds awesome, yeah, that's really cool. You gain a little bit of positive feeling out of the fact that they're really excited and inspired by something, but it doesn't do anything for you. That's what this movie felt like. It's not filling me with the feeling that I clearly think that it's filling you with. So if you are interested, if you do have that special interest and you share that with that person, like, this movie would be a fantastic experience. I feel like it would be really enjoyable. But for me, it just was kind of It just kind of fell flat. Let's start with the good stuff. Retention. Let's go. First things that I like, the performance by Emily Blunt was fantastic. Emily Blunt is so good. I am incredibly into, like, the gravity that she brings to roles. She just has a command over the screen, but it doesn't feel like it's forced or like she's chewing the scenery. She just exists, like, in the space. Everybody wants her attention, which is why it works when she becomes kind of this, like, messiah figure. I could see why people would be drawn to this woman, both because of her gift, but also just because of, like, who she is. I loved her in Devil Wears Prada and I want her to punch me in the face. Josh O'Connor, I loved him in Wake Up Dead Man. He was fantastic, and he was also really good in Challenger, so I was like, great, Josh O'Connor is on an absolute heater. I haven't seen him in anything that I don't like. It wasn't my favorite. I'm sorry, and I think it was because of the screenplay, and I think it was because of the writing, because let me just do my quick writing rant. I don't know if it's all Steven Spielberg dialogue or if it's just this movie, but something about his dialogue to me is so corny. This movie is meant to feel less like that, like, 80s fantastical reality where, like, you know, the police are the bad guys and they're like goons and they chase after you, but you have an alien, and it's all kind of a little bit magical and childlike. But he wants us to take it seriously. He wants us to take the corporation seriously and the gravity of the world and the stakes of, oh, if we do release this information, it will be a really big deal. And yet, the dialogue that these people are saying is, like, so grandiose and theatrical, and it feels like they're not really, like, talking to each other, and they're not really talking like people. She was like, just tell me what's going on, and no person would be like, this information that I stole, it belongs to 8 billion. Nobody would talk like that. I'm okay with that, but I kind of have to balance that with how I feel about the rest of the movie and the rest of the world that we exist in. And there were so many examples of it. And it came in between scenes where you are meant to take it seriously. And I don't know, it didn't work for me. It really didn't. The next thing, and this is something specific to me, which is why I really feel like this movie didn't resonate with me. I don't like chase scenes. Now, that's a generalization, but I find them to be repetitive, not suspenseful, and not interesting. And especially when the chase scene is the support of the story, like the story can only exist because they're being tracked down and chased. If it's not like a really intelligent, interesting spy thriller where the plot and the stakes are written really effectively and you kind of know everyone's motivations, the actual act of watching someone drive away in a car being chased by other people in a car is so not interesting to me. And this movie is not just one chase scene. Basically, the entire second act in the middle of the movie is a chase scene. Can someone explain this to me? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just the way that I saw the movie. How does it make any sense that they're chasing after Josh O'Connor in this movie? They literally have him at the beginning. And yes, I know he's holding the device, right? And they're like, oh, okay, let him go. He's holding the device. But why? We're going to let him go so that we can track him down, so that we can chase him again to get the device to capture him. So we need this device, so we're going to let him go away with the device so that we can chase him to get the device. Do we see how this makes no sense? And let's not even get started on the fact that Josh O'Connor is open, like in the middle of a field, in clear view. It was like, I know the angle and whatever, but like, it was so clear and obvious. Nobody thought to like turn around and look. I know we exist in that Spielberg world of like, they're kind of just like video game NPC goons. But again, you can't have me think that way and then also expect me to take things seriously. It felt like a video game. It really did. It felt like he was like stealth mission in a video game, and when you alert a guard, he doesn't immediately shoot you or like detain you. He goes, oh, and then like runs in like a scripted path like an NPC towards you. I see right through it. It kind of took me out of the movie. And then they just kept doing it. They did, and then they were in the hotel, and then they tracked his phone, or they tracked whatever. Sure, if you're doing something a little bit interesting, like the Colin Firth mind jumping thing, a little bit interesting. Didn't fully get utilized, but I like that as like a kind of interesting plot point. If all of that is in service of just another chase scene, then I'm not happy. Again, just me. There are some people that are probably like, I like it. I like when cars go vroom. That's awesome, and I'm happy for you. Just wasn't for me. My final thought is that the underpinning logic of this whole movie that it's based on, the dilemma that we center on, doesn't really work for me. And I think it's because I don't buy it, and I don't believe that people would react the way Steven Spielberg either thinks that people would react or hopes that people would react. Listen, this is big news. This is big information. The actual existence of aliens is a big thing. However, in the world that we live in, I don't think it would be a significant thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Could be completely unique to me. But to me, it feels like the kind of thing where in the 80s or the 70s, before the invention of the phone, seeing like government footage of something would be like, oh my God, the president's involved, and that feels like a significant thing. Now you go on Instagram and you scroll through AI and whatever, it feels like this movie exists in a time where he thinks people would take that seriously. I think it would hit hard, it would be like a big news story on the day, and then because of the cycle of drama and controversy and news and just the never-ending torrential constant treadmill that we're involved in, we would just kind of have to move on. Like you sort of see it, you'd be like, oh, whoa, that's a big deal, and then you would move on. They've done this already, and nobody cared. It just kept going. So if it actually happened for real, I think there would be non-believers, there would be people looking to immediately market it and sell it and propagandize it, and oh, what does this say? And now there's more racism and whatever. I think it would be more interesting to see the political fallout of an alien revelation, or like the social fallout of it, because I think it wouldn't actually do much. I think the corporations would make it a chance to market them and sell them to us and find a way to monetize it. That's the first thing that would happen. And I think people would have a big explosion reaction, and then nobody would care after like literally a week. And maybe I'm pessimistic. I actually genuinely believe that. So as much as I got a little choked up when I saw the news reporter struggling to even process what she was seeing because it was such a big deal, to me, when they're arguing about, oh, are we sure the world can handle this? This is going to implode religion. People are going to launch nukes at each other. People are whatever. No, I'm sorry. I just don't think that. I just don't think that at all. I think the people who are in charge get to decide everything for us anyway, and we just kind of go around our days trying to distract ourselves with, to quote Mr. Peanut Butter from BoJack, meaningless nonsense.
The universe is a cruel, uncaring void. The key to being happy isn't to search for meaning, it's to just keep yourself busy with unimportant nonsense, and eventually you'll be dead.
It's just that, like, when they were doing the significance of it, couldn't be like, oh, I agree, this is a big deal. So, again, it does two things. Either I have to... Jesus, I just got a splinter. Well, let's keep it rolling. We're professional. Either it does one of two things. Either you have to say that we exist in this real world where the stakes are real and everything's real, and then I don't buy it, and it breaks my suspension of disbelief, or we don't exist in a real world where it's this a little bit different. The reality, the rules, the logic is a little bit different, and then it's harder for me to connect with. I can still accept it, but then it's a different movie, and I don't think it's the movie that Spielberg thought he was trying to push across. Again, this is all my taste. This is how I feel about it. This channel is about me, and me, and me, and me, and me, and me only. So I get to yell my opinions at you. But if you liked it, awesome, and I can see why somebody would. I think just ultimately, every piece of it that made it what it was didn't resonate with me. And that's why in the last video I had a comment, love you by the way for commenting, like how I brought up the objective rating versus subjective rating thing. And I think like objectively I could see the craft, the story, whatever. I still think the writing is really weak. I still think the underpinning of the story is weak. So I think I would give the movie objectively like a 3-star. Some high points. There are some good set pieces. The final act is pretty good. Like it's pretty entertaining, and the build-up to get there isn't my favorite. So my objective rating would be like a 3 stars, and then my subjective rating for enjoyment and how much it like made me feel would be like a 2 stars. Because I just didn't like it. It wasn't bad, I just didn't like it. I do think though, if I had seen this movie when I was younger, I would have bought in a little more, because I think I could have existed more in like the cartoonish reality that the people kind of exist in. I liked when Emily Blunt was just a walking plot device. Like, that honestly made me happier, because it was like, oh, I don't need an explanation. I don't need to understand that these human beings are like logically know they have to track her, but they can't because for whatever reason they're acting like cartoon henchmen. It was just like, oh, she has this ability now? Cool. She's overpowered. And I accept it, and I liked it. It felt kind of like, okay, yeah, I can get on board. For whatever reason, that worked for me. And so, again, if this had been more of an imaginative experience where I wasn't jaded by life the way that I am now, I think I would have liked it more. And I think the message about like standing up for innocent creatures and speaking out even though someone's trying to stop you, and the protection of free speech, but also the protection of just like individuality and the human spirit is something that I do resonate with, and I do like that story. I just think it was done better in something like, you know, One Battle After Another. Different movies, but they had kind of similar like underlying ideas about revolution and spirit, overthrowing a regime trying to hold you down. And I think Paul Thomas Anderson as an artist and as a deliverer of a story did it in a way that made more sense to me as a grounded story. I think if Spielberg had gone full fantasy and made it like a fantastical, like high art, you know, space opera type thing, but still set on Earth, I think that would have been cool. I still probably wouldn't have liked it if it was all chase scenes and cybersecurity babble and weird, overly done writing. But again, there was some value there. Glad I got this one out. I'm gonna edit this quick. I'm gonna bang this out. Let me know what you thought about Disclosure Day. I had a bunch of people, my friends, be like, why did you like Backrooms so much? It was so mid. And I texted them and I was like, you want to see a mid movie? Go see Disclosure Day. It's so mid. It's getting positive reviews. Seems like people like it, so I can support that. Happy for it. Steven, I support you. Keep making original stuff. Keep sharing your weirdness and your ideas with the world. Yeah, let me know what you thought. Comment below. Do all the stuff. There might be people actually watching this. Keep doing it. Keep letting me know you're a person. I will respond to you. That's all for today. I will see you when I see you. Peace.